What's up, guys? Welcome back. And today, as you can imagine from the intro and the title and thumbnail probably and all that good stuff, we are combining some pedals today. We are going to be taking a look and a listen to the Universal Audio Lion with the Knuckles, and just to spice things up a little bit more for that more classic JCM 800 and Mesa dual rec blend. I'm also going to be throwing the Friedman IR-J in there, and we're going to hear what it sounds like with that. Let's go ahead and get all the signal path and the setup out of the way so we can get to playing and hearing what all of this good stuff can do. Okay, so it's really no secret that a foundational sound in so many studios over the years has been combining a Marshall and a Mesa together to get a really, really big sound. Now, when my old band, we were in the studio with Rick Beato and Ken Lanyon, we tracked with a JCM 800 and a dual rec for our rhythm tracks, and I used the Nitro for all of the lead tracks. So this combination is time tested. And although the Lion is not quite as aggressive as an 800 is, it does really fill out the lows and the mids in a very satisfying way, whereas the Knuckles, as you can imagine, really takes over with the kind of the aggressive top end to really get a full balanced sound out of the combination. So the setup for today is the Schecter. This is the exotic Sun Valley Super Shredder. It has the Duncan Alpha and Omega pickups in there. It's going into the Jam Man looper, which I'm probably not going to use today, into the OCD, into this splitter. This is the, I don't know how you say it. It's a splitter, the little dual, and one signal is going into the Lion, and the other signal is going into the Knuckles. And I've got, right now, you can toggle between either or, and I've got the little handy labels on there so you guys can, see which one I'm playing through, or you can just hit both and play through both of them at the same time. So the Lion is set up with the Vintage 30 UK cabinet IR block in there, or the speaker simulation, and the Knuckles has the Mesa Vintage 30 speaker sim going on in that. Both of them are going into the DelVerb. Now, the thing I like about all these UA pedals is that they're all stereo, so you can kind of get away with some fun routing like this. So I've got both of these pedals are going into the DelVerb, so you're going to get a full stereo split in the mix. And if you're watching this video on a phone or a tablet, you might not get kind of the full big sound experience that I've been getting, testing out, listening back to the recordings and things like that. So if you've got headphones, I encourage you to listen to that if you're not listening on like a decent set of speakers or something like that. So anyways, both of the pedals are going into the DelVerb, which we're going to listen to the reverb and the delays from that. And although not used in the intro, I do think that the OX Stomp can combine these sounds and kind of glue them together in a more cohesive way than what you would get with just the pedals on their own with their own individual speaker simulations going on. It kind of brings the sound a little bit kind of cleaner together. It's really hard to describe, but we'll take a listen to that, and so you'll get to hear what that does to these two units. All right, let's start playing here. I'm going to start off with the Lion. And this is kind of the sound that I've got going on. It's a kind of the top of what its aggression meter can do. A little reverb. And the OCD. All right, now we're going to go over to the Knuckles. And I'll put a screenshot on the screen so you can see what the actual settings of the knuckles currently is. So on the orange channel, the boost is off, and I think it's got the presence is kind of nudged a little bit past halfway, and the master inside the unit itself that you control through the app, I think it's maybe a little bit past halfway also. And the OCD. The boost I'm using, I believe, is the Tube Screamer on this on the orange channel. I just prefer to use the OCD, or I'll also use the Golden Boy. The Golden Boy sounds phenomenal with these pedals also. But I think that the external boost in front of both of them kind of, it's a cleaner high gain sound in my opinion than using both of the boosts, which let me just show you real quick here. This is no boost on the pedals. There we go. Now you got both pedals. And the boost off on the pedals. And the OCD. So yeah, I think that sounds better, but you do have the option to use both of them. But if you're wanting to go from kind of something like, maybe like this. You can't do that really with both of them unless you're sitting there like kind of on your heels, like to hit both of them at the same time. That would be really awkward, and it's a lot easier just to control it with one pedal. So let's go ahead and hear a little bit more from the DelVerb, and we will check out the IR-J. Actually, I think we'll go to the OX Stomp first, and then we'll bring back around with the IR-J. I'll tell you what, let me turn on the room sound on both of these because they both do have a room reverb and it's really good. Well, I don't want to call it a reverb. I guess it's technically a reverb, but it's more of a kind of a presence. I don't know. It's hard to describe. Oh, that wasn't it. Okay, let's start about here. This is just the knuckles with the room. All right, let's listen to the OX Stomp. Let me get that hooked up. All right, here we are. We're back, and I've got the OX Stomp hooked up. Now, one thing I did have to do to get this sounding right within the OX Stomp application on the phone is I had to go in and separate microphone 1 and microphone 2 to get kind of like that stereo spread. When they were both in the middle, there was this weird phasing thing that was going on that didn't sound right at all. But when I separated them, everything kind of settled back down and started sounding right. I'm not using any of the reverb or delay in the OX Stomp for now. I'm still sticking with the DelVerb because I can kind of quickly control it here on the pedal itself instead of having to dig through the amp. So here we go. This is just the Lion going into the OX Stomp, and the cabinet that I'm using is the UK V30, and I'm also using actually no, it's not the V30 on this one. This is the Mesa Vintage 30 cabinet I'm using in here. And I've got, as you can see, the cabinet simulation on both of these pedals is completely disabled, so it's only getting the cabinet sim from the OX Stomp. And this is what the Lion sounds like with no reverb or anything. This is the knuckles. The microphones that I'm using for these, the Lion has the SM57, the Knuckles has the 121. So it's got a bit of a thicker, darker sound coming from the Knuckles, but it just kind of means that I can be a little bit more kind of surgical, if you will, with the top and low end. Whereas on the Lion, I always want this thing to cut a little harder, so the 57 is my preference for this unit right here. So, and combined. Boost. I did toggle the setting to the LP instead of the HP setting because the combination of these two units with the OX Stomp is a little bit brighter than what it was with their own individual cabinet simulation going on. So I kind of flipped this back down to get a little bit more of that low end back. I didn't need as much top end. So yeah, that's why I changed that setting. A little reverb. All right, I'm drop tuned. Let's go to the red channel here. Red channel's a little bit down on output. Let's see here. Okay, so that is the Mesa right there, and this is the Marshall. Checking the levels over there, they kind of look even. Overall output is much lower than on the pedals themselves though. Let's hit the delay on the OX Stomp. I'm going to hook up the IR-J, and we are going to kind of end the video hearing the knuckles with a more aggressive Marshall voiced pedal. So here we go. All right, I'm ready to go with this IR-J. This thing is smoking hot, and I've got it on the high gain setting, and the impulse response is off. And again, it is using the SM57 the same way that the Lion was. And this is kind of the sound that I've got dialed in. Now with the knuckles. All right, well, that is going to wrap up this video combining the knuckles and the Lion and the Friedman IR-J. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And again, if you want that classic blended sound between a Mesa and a Marshall, although not cheap, this is still a much, much cheaper way of getting it into a pedal board format compared to lugging two full-sized amplifiers, dealing with potential phasing and grounding issues and things like that. So this was a lot of fun, and if you want that kind of sound and you want to do it through, you know, these really, really high quality pedal form units rather than going the digital route, this is a really, really good sounding and fun way to kind of combine sounds to get something unique that neither pedal on its own can facilitate. So I will have a link to everything that I've used in this video on Zound's website. They're all affiliate links, and if you want to try any of this stuff out, feel free to use those links. That doesn't cost you anything extra, and it does help the channel out. Every little bit helps. If you're not interested in buying, that's cool. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe and join the channel, and join me on more of these really fun videos with different pieces of gear and kind of unique ways of using them and things like that. So yeah, I will talk to you guys in the next video. Y'all take care. Bye.